I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
You know, one of the most washed things, one of the most trite things athletes say, they win a championship or they win a big game, and you see the guy out there, well, nobody gave us a chance. Nobody gave us, and you're like, what are you talking about, man? Everybody thought you would win, but somehow athletes talk themselves into, no, it's us against the world, when usually it's not. Except for this one, man. Nobody, and go back, man. Nobody gave the Pacers a chance. To win a game or two, and I had it Oklahoma City in 6, but the sweep talk was out, the dynasty talk was out. Nobody, I don't believe, outside of that zip code gave him a chance. Now, they haven't won anything yet, except for a couple of games. A couple of games does not constitute a title. They got a chance. Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Thursday. That was a game last night, and that bench was something else. And whether it's Benedict Mathurin or TJ McConnell on your bingo card, 116-107, the Pacers beat the budding dynasty. 2-1, Indiana is on top in that series. On the same night that a Lobo wins the national championship, and Lobos go 1-2 in the 10,000 meters, and they're in second place at the National Track and Field Championships. What is up? Thank you for finding the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
Well, lots, man. Watch, I got golf on. I got the U.S. Open. Xander Schauffele's buried in some thick grass. I got 2 Aztecs at the top of the leaderboard early in the U.S. Open. I got a crazy game last night. I watched an insane race. Man, it's pretty good.
Not too bad. Watching that game last night, I was really excited, not only because it was a close game, because all the lead up to the NBA Finals and the discussion of this is going to be fun basketball. These are two good teams.
Yeah.
And there was just this feeling, and I'm one of those people too. Yes, I picked OKC to win bandwagon. But I was watching that series, and I'm like, I don't think Indiana should be down 15 or 20 points every game. Like, this team is better than that. And to see it play out last night for OKC to have a slight lead, it pushed it to, was it 6 going in right at the start of the fourth quarter. But in a close game, that's where Indiana thrives. And I was just excited to see that for the game of basketball. And just the fact that we've talked up the Pacers so much, we've talked up this matchup. I just want to see good, entertaining basketball. And we got that last night.
Am I wrong with my lead-in today?
No.
Right? To me, it's one of the most. Nobody gave us a chance, and you're like, come on, man. Everybody gave you a chance. Everybody thought you were going to win. In this scenario, do you recall anybody picking the Pacers? And they haven't won anything yet, so everybody may still be right. And I had I had the Thunder in 6, and that still can happen. But I told you at the beginning, I don't see this as such the landslide that everybody else does. And Indiana's good, and there's that it to them. There's that intangible, that it. You, in fact, in the Eastern Conference, during the Eastern Conference Finals, said they have the look of a team of destiny, Indiana. And there's something about that. And again, they haven't won yet. I'm not certain that they will. But I went into this thinking, man, yeah, Oklahoma City's good, and I do believe they're better. But this team's pretty freaking good, and how everybody is just no chancing them. And when I say everybody, I mean, go ahead and find me a talking head that picked Indiana. Like, I picked them in game 1, but not in the series. Go find one. I don't know that there is one, right? And you watch what they did last night. First of all, they got a terrific coach. Okay, Rick Carlisle might be the most underrated coach of this generation. I know that's saying something, but I mean, he's won a championship, right?
He's a championship coach.
When you talk about great coaches, the Knicks are going after everybody in the world, but they haven't reached out to Indiana yet, have they? Anybody that might be interested. Hey, how about, right? I looked at the roster. Now, did I think you were getting a T.J. McConnell game where he was going for 10, 5 assists, and 5 steals? No, I didn't. I mean, okay. But what he gave you off the bench last night was pretty impressive. Benedict Mathurin, who last year was hurt during the playoffs, didn't get to make the run, and comes out, and again, so is Benedict Mathurin 8th guy on the team? I mean, if you think, who's the first guy off the bench? Is it him? Is it Obi Toppin? Is it Bryant usually? Maybe 7th, right?
Yeah, he's former lottery pick. I think they said he's
was
like
12th. He was 6th overall.
Yeah,
pick.
the highest pick they've had since Rick Smits. So like, this is a dude that they've invested in, and he's been just that microwave off the bench, and his points per minute in the postseason has been ridiculous.
Do you remember him at Arizona at all? He was really good.
Yes,
really, really good at Arizona. So he was great last night. All right, we got, you guys, we got so much today. If you want to get in early, would be a good idea. Guest list today, 8:30 this morning. University of New Mexico athletic director Fernando Lovo is going to be with us. He's up in Eugene, Oregon, where the NCAA track and field championships are going on. I thought I had Ishmael Kipkori for us this morning when I went to bed last night. I thought he and Habtam Samuel were coming on, but they want to sleep in. The coaches were like, they don't need to do local radio. Maybe if we were like, I don't know, the national show. But I don't know if you watched it last night. Fred kind of turned me on to making sure I set my alarm when he called yesterday. But last year, Habtam Samuel won a national championship. This time it was a freshman, Ishmael Kipkori, who just kicked. JJ, about a lap and a half to go, went out front, and his kick was terrific. Kind of pulled away. Not kind of, did pull away from the pack. 10,000 meters is I don't know, man. It was 29 plus minutes, but I tuned in. All right, 20 laps to go, and I'm like, holy smokes! Let me flip back over to basketball for a second, and came back, and it was going back and forth. I mean, it takes a minute, and then Hampton Samuel, the Lobo teammate, followed him, and you had the two turquoise shirts finishing 1-2. The Lobos are right now second overall. After day one of the NCAA Track and Field Championships, they have a real chance to be on the podium as a team when it's all said and done because they are so good at the 10K, the 5K, and the steeplechase. I thought the race was pretty thrilling, dude. It was in the fourth quarter of the basketball, and I found myself having to split it. And I'm like, okay, man, there's basketball going, but I'm caught up in this track and field. I'm caught up in the 10,000 meters.
Olympic running, championship running, that stuff is phenomenal. And the way that we've seen Lobo athletes on the biggest stage the last couple of years just explode at the finish has been phenomenal.
So we'll talk to Fernando Lobo. He was there, tried to get the athletes on. I thought I had them on when I went to bed. I got a text at 12:10 in the morning. Well, I received it this morning. I think that's when it came in. That no thanks, thanks but no thanks. We're not coming on your award-winning radio show. So maybe after the 5, they're like, maybe after the 5K, I'm like, cool, yeah, we'll come in on Saturday morning, and maybe Kenny Thomas will get it. Maybe Kenny's big enough they can go on the Kenny show. But we'll talk to Fernando about being there. The U.S. Open is underway. Round 1 is going on right now at Oakmont outside of Pittsburgh. You have a former Mountain West golfer in first place by himself right now, J.J. Spaun, San Diego State alum, 3 under par after 7. He is 1 clear of Wyndham Clark, Gary Woodland, Rory McIlroy, and Siwoo Kim. Ludwig Edberg and Adam Scott and Xander Schauffele are in a group at 1 under par. That's 2 Aztecs at the top of the leaderboard, JJ, just saying.
Not too shabby.
Well, not if Xander misses this putt. Hold on, this is for par. It's like they're putting on the kitchen floor. It is. They're and he missed it, so he'll drop to par. Every putt is so delicate. Just watch Mickelson barely touch one and watch it roll down the hill and light short. The thick is just soupy and nasty, and it's like cabbage. And but this is what you like at the U.S. Open, and hit fairways. Spawn's hit 3 out of 5, and that's why he is in first place. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Adrian's producing on ProView Network, so you can watch the show on Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico. Our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Miguel, get us started. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Miguel.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Quick shout-out to the 2 Lobos at the NCAA Track and Field Championships. I didn't get to see it, and this is coming from a New Mexico State graduate, by the way.
Wow.
Wow, look at you. I was watching those championships till the NBA Finals came on. I switched the channel. But the Pacers season was turned for the better in the second quarter. They were down by 8 points in the first quarter. In fact, after I watched that first quarter, I'm like, they're not showing up. But they scored 40 points in the second quarter. And their bench in that first half, just the first half alone, outscored the Thunder's bench 30-11. And that was, to me, those were the 2 deciding things in the game. Because if the Pacers don't come out and punch
that's right.
The Thunder the way they did in the second quarter, they could have got blown out in their own building. But they only shot 9 of 27 from the three-point line. And SGA didn't have a great game. Thunder had 17 turnovers. I just thought the Pacers stepped up when they needed to. And I like that whole mentality of, hey, it's us against the world. I have no problem with that. And if that's what motivates them, good, because if they win at home, they're going to win the series. So Game 4 tomorrow night is going to be really important.
Yeah, as of now, they've taken home court back after winning that Game 1. So
yeah.
All right, no, I appreciate you. Get warm over there. I mean, if it's going to be 100 here, what's it going to be in your hood?
Yeah. Well, it was only 111 yesterday, so I'd say I'm getting time served in hell when I get to that. When I get up to the pearly gates, I can say I lived in Phoenix.
We all make decisions, Miguel. We all make decisions. Enjoy the day. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care.
Miguel listens over in the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix every day and appreciate it. How about an Aggie throwing some props at the Lobos for winning the national championship, going 1-2 in the 10,000 meters at the NCAA championships yesterday. All right, 505-246-0610. Come on in, Fernando Lobo at 7:30. We'll talk to him about the Lobos are going to handle the House settlement and what do they do moving forward in regards to everything that's gone down. Maybe get a little update on if he knows anything in regards to the mediation between the Mountain West and the Pac-12, which is now in its fourth week, if I'm not mistaken. Summer road trips, they're a blast until your car looks like a mess when you're done. Fast food wrappers, sticky cup holders, sand, snack, crumbs in every crevice. On the Spot Automotive Detailing takes care of it. They'll help you bounce back. So whether it's a post-vacation grime or it's just an overdue cleanup like we all have because life happens, let On the Spot Automotive Detailing's award-winning team come to you at your home, at your work, get your car looking, feeling, smelling fresh again. And I tell you this all the time. People like, do they really? Like, they come out to you? Yeah, dude, this is how this works. That's their service. First of all, they're the best detailing service in town. The product, what they do is terrific. And the convenience of what they do puts them completely over the top. It's amazing. You're working, you're in your office, you might even forget about it. And you get a text and you're like, oh yeah. You go outside and everybody's standing around your car going, how can I get that? On the Spot Automotive Detailing is how you can get it. Father's Day is this weekend. Looking for a great gift? I promise you this one hits. You want to avoid the blaring sun this summer, consider their pro window tinting services as well. Book and buy online. It's all there. I love them. You will as well. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Book and buy at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction Safety Company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's
Goes Best Sportsbook.
OD in your AM update. U.S. Open, J.J. Spaun is your leader, 3 under after 7. 1 stroke better than Rory McIlroy, Wyndham Clark, Gary Woodland, and Si Woo Kim. Group at 1 under includes Ludwig Ulberg and Brian Harman and Nicholas Nogard. Bryson DeChambeau even. Xander Schauffele even. Phil Mickelson +1. I'll give you some other names out there as we go. 505-246-0610. Fernando Lovo, the athletic director at the University of New Mexico, is scheduled to be with us coming up at 8:30 this morning. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Pacers over the Thunder, 116-107. Big night from Benedict Mathurin. Isn't that the guy that Kenny keeps calling? And they got Bennett, right? That's the right. We'll talk to him tomorrow. Kenny will be here, but we'll brief him on that. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Rudy.
Good morning. So that was unbelievable last night in the 10,000 meters. I'm sitting there watching it, and they keep going to commercial, and I'm like, Hatem Samuel's in last place. What's he doing? And you only go out and him and Ishmael, they whipped out a 53-second final lap.
Yeah, the kick was pretty amazing. It was actually really amazing.
How do you blow people away like that? Wow. That wasn't just Ishmael just blew people away. I've never seen anybody run that fast after 9,600 meters. and it looked like he had a lot more left. So maybe he can double, or maybe Hatem can come in and nose him out at the 5,000 meter. That's going to be another competitive race. But that was just unbelievable. And I don't know if you saw that 2-minute thing on wearing turquoise that Courtney Ferricks.
No, was it you who told me about that yesterday? I didn't find it. No, I've not seen it.
Yeah, if you go to my Facebook page, it's there. But it's posted on X, and it really will give you chills what turquoise means to this team.
To the track and field team and cross country.
You might do some checking. How many national champions can the Mountain West claim other than New Mexico? I don't know that any other team has won a national championship. I know we've had some individuals, but I think UNM women's cross country is the only national champions from the Mountain West that I can think of. Maybe somebody out there will correct me. I'm sure they will. But we're inching closer, to June 30th. What are you hearing about the 8th team for the Pac-2?
Texas State. I mean, in
So when are they
fact,
going
well,
to
okay.
announce
So
that?
in fact, Texas State's and I saw a tweet yesterday. JJ, the president of Texas State put out something, and it was metaphorical for basically we're not taking a half a share. And it wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't mention the Pac-12, but it's some. I got to find it now. But it was metaphorical for we're not taking a half a share. I will find it for you.
Mm-hmm. It's going to get interesting. Final thing, I headed out to the Isotopes game yesterday.
Yeah, I did too.
And I'm feeling pretty good. You know, it's 4-1. You need 3 outs. You got your closer.
It's the Rockies now.
And 8 hits and 4 runs later.
That's right.
And what really kind of bugs people is, you know, you come up for the bottom of the ninth, do something. Strike out, pop up, strike out, and everybody goes home.
Good night now. Thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed the hot dogs. Yep.
It's like you invent ways to lose games. That was torture watching Kelly come in and just give up hit after hit after hit, run after run.
Yep.
And it's just like the Comets are going, hey, all we need is 4 runs to win this game. No problem. We won the whole game. Something has to change with that organization, and they have to after I've given up a run or maybe 2, maybe I'm going to pitch inside. Maybe I'm going to, not try to hit somebody, but make them uncomfortable at the plate. Those guys were up there like they were in a lazy boy couch, just knocking hits all over the ballpark to get back in the game and take the lead.
Good for you for staying till the end,
something has
though.
to change for that organization.
Good for you for staying till the end. I was back at the office working by then, but I saw the final. All right, man.
Well,
good
maybe
to
I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I guess. All right, good to hear you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
All right, 505-246-0610. JJ, let me give you this, what I was talking about. So the end of the month is coming quick, and that's kind of a deadline, really, for the Pac-12 to figure out who their last full-time member is going to be. And because whoever it is has to give notice. And by the way, JJ Spawn made another birdie. He's 4 under. Whoever it is has to give notice to their current conference that they're getting out. Otherwise, they're out. Their exit fee is going to go up. So the Texas State president put out a tweet. His name is Kelly Damphouse. And it kind of lets you know that certainly there's conversation. He posted something, a photo of a bowl of lobster bisque, JJ, on X. And it was basically comparing the negotiations Texas State evidently was having. This was back a while ago with the Pac-12. He says, on my way back to the airport, I stopped for a great lunch near the White House. People sometimes think I'd be happy with a half bowl of soup. After all, a cup of soup is better than no soup. But for me, it's a full bowl or nothing.
Full bowl or nothing.
Basically saying we're not taking...
Not here for no lunch special.
We're not taking a half a share, as has been reported. He posted what appears to be 2 beavers, Oregon State, swimming in the San Marcos River, which is right near Texas State's campus. And so this was posted yesterday, I believe. And again, the beavers, the mascot of the Pac-12 founding member, Oregon State. So take it for what you want. Maybe the Bobcats are due for some positive news. I don't know. But the Pac-12, by most reports, is close to announcing a new media deal. Then the plan is to extend a formal invitation, or invitations plural, to expansion targets. Texas State is, in many reports and from what I understand, a legitimate finalist to receive a Pac-12 invitation. They got a growing enrollment. They got over 40,000 students, JJ, almost 41,000 students. But it's cute the way he's dealing with all this. We'll see, but Rudy's not wrong. And then somebody's got to accept. 505-246-0610. You had great hoops last night. Kevin Durant evidently is on the market. Who wants him? And who wants to pay that price? Did you hear what Phoenix is asking for Kevin Durant? It's the opening drive. Fernando Lobo at 8:30 on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Grill like a legend.
we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
JJ Spahn's your leader at the U.S. Open. Man, the golf course looks really, really hard. It's one of those, you get off the fair, the traps are huge, the grass is thick. You got dudes already at 7 over, amateur guys that are struggling because it's the U.S. Open. But Patrick Cantlay is 3 over after 5. He's really, really good. Eduardo Molinari 2 over. Justin Rose is 2 over. Maverick McNeely's 2 over. Hideki Matsuyama and Keegan Bradley are 2 over par. Top of the board is JJ Spahn. He is -4. Gary Woodland at 3 under. And then Rory McIlroy, Wyndham Clark, Siwoo Kim, Nicholas Norgard at 2 under par as they play early at the at Oakmont at the U.S. Open. All right, Pacers 116, Thunder 107. That is the score last night. It was, and I opened up the show today, and as I was driving in, I'm thinking, okay, I always think, what's a perspective that maybe, I don't know. I'm always looking for something a little different to open up the show, and I don't know that this is different, but I swear, we've all watched post-game interviews after whatever it is, and pick your sport. And usually it's after a championship, but it doesn't have to be that late. Where an athlete says, nobody gave us a chance. It was us against the world, and everybody said we couldn't do it. And you're sitting there just going, what are you talking about, right? I mean, everybody thought you can. This to me is the absolute. Yeah, nobody gave them a chance. And JJ, they haven't won it yet. But I'm going to tell you, if they continue to get performances from others, and you need it from Halliburton, and you need it from Pascal Siakam. And Halliburton gave you 22 and 9 and 11 last night. Siakam gave you 21 points and 6 rebounds. But the others, your Benedict Mathurin's, 27 points. What TJ McConnell did yesterday cannot closely be measured, I don't believe, in the box score. And the box score is pretty impressive because in his 15 minutes, he gave you 10 points, 5 assists, 5 steals, and a rebound. But I thought the energy and the pest that he was vital in what they did yesterday. Another Arizona guy.
And you see with Indiana, the depth in this series for both teams is absolutely paying off. And something I know I've discussed over and over, starters, we're talking about the Knicks, leaning on your guys, but this is one where it has helped both these teams immensely in the postseason. And to get quality contributions from Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton, but what puts you over the top in these close games? Who's going to be that guy? And role players, another cliche, but they always seem to play better at home, and that's what you got from the Pacers in Game 3. And just the effort, the way they picked up full court, threw more bodies at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, forced 17 turnovers. And just watching that fourth quarter, too, you saw just moments of guys being able to step it up. And I thought Miles Turner late on Chet Holmgren was phenomenal, because if Turner, as long as he doesn't get beat first step, he's athletic enough to stay in front of Holmgren, and he's stronger. And he can still push around Chet Holmgren.
How about the play in the fourth quarter where he blocked Holmgren's shot shooting the three, Holmgren collected, drove to the rim, and Turner blocked it and knocked it out off of Holmgren and went the other way. I thought it was one of the biggest plays of the game.
Absolutely, and that's what Miles Turner can bring inside for the Pacers.
I said to you yesterday, maybe it was the day before, I don't recall, as we were talking about this, I said for Indiana to win, they've got to do to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander what Oklahoma City has done to Hallie, right? And that means make someone else beat me. That means chase him everywhere. That means throw dudes at him. That means tire him out. That means, and weren't we talking about this yesterday? If I got to throw 2 guys at Shai, fine, I'll throw 2 guys at Shai. And Gilgeous-Alexander, your MVP, played 42 minutes. 9 of 20 from the field. But he turned the ball over 6 times. He scored 24 points, had 8 rebounds. And the commentators were talking about it at the end. Mike Breen, Richard Jefferson, Doris Burke. That he looked worn out. And JJ, it's everything we were talking about yesterday. I don't know that it's rocket science. I'm not sitting here like I solved cancer or something. But they did to him exactly what Oklahoma City has been doing to Halliburton. Somebody else got to beat me. Dude still had 24, but it wasn't enough, and it worked for everything he got, and they made him the focus. I agree with everybody in the world. Oklahoma City is terrific defensively, the best defensive team in the league. Indiana's pretty damn good, too. And they got athletes in there deep, and they throw it at you, and they made him work. And I thought, again, Rick Carlisle with the plan and the execution by guys that wear yellow. And by the way, they only have one set of uniforms, right? They don't wear blues. They don't wear whites. They only wear yellows, home and away. Because yellows can be dark, yellows can be lights.
They've locked in on that for the finals.
Yeah, all right, good. I got no problem with it. But I thought that was the key, the fact that they made Shai Gilgeous-Alexander work his ass off all night.
It's the effort that's required to win a championship. You saw that in the beginning in the second quarter when they scored 40 points, but then holding OKC to 18 points in the fourth quarter, and that is 2 fourth quarters in this NBA Finals that the Oklahoma City Thunder also did not hit a 3-point shot.
which is big, right? Which is big. And from three-point land, they went 10 for 22, and Oklahoma City finds themselves down. I still think Oklahoma City wins the series because I do believe they're a little bit better. I just didn't believe they were as much better as everybody said. I just, man, and I guess this was the whole thing on the West. We kept saying the West, the West, the West. It was, there was Cleveland and Boston, nobody else in the East. Well, neither one of them made the conference finals. And you gave me 7 teams probably who you could make a legitimate chance for, maybe even more, in the West, right? I mean, the top 2 seeds were Oklahoma City and Houston. But, look at the way the Clippers are playing, and Kawhi's back, and they're good. Okay, they have a chance. And, the Lakers, of course, the Lakers with Luka and LeBron, and Denver's, they won 2 years ago, and Minnesota, oh my goodness, and Golden State, right? I mean, there were 7 teams that you thought, okay, maybe they have a legitimate chance. Nobody mentioned Indiana. I go back, find me a piece of audio or a write-up somewhere outside of Indiana that mentioned the Pacers as a contender before the playoffs started. And that's kind of what I love about this.
I don't know how they fell so far down the pecking order when they had the second best record in basketball since January 1st.
Yeah, and maybe that's why, because it was, but that's when people start paying attention. I to your point, I don't know. Maybe because they don't have that superstar, right? I mean, Cleveland, I don't know if you consider Donovan Mitchell a superstar, but Cleveland was the number 1 seed, so you had to pay attention. Boston's the defending champs. New York is, New York, and they have Jalen Brunson. Milwaukee had Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can't tell me anybody else who made the play. I mean, Detroit was a cute story, and they pushed the Knicks, but they're a year or 2 away. But maybe it's because their superstar is the most overrated player in the league, according to the players. The guy with a gold medal that didn't play much, okay. But how? JJ, nobody paid attention. They're not in a big media market. They're not on your TV every night like the Lakers and Luka are. And yet here they are, 2 wins away from winning a championship. My mom asked me last night, are we rooting for anybody in this? I'm like, not really, but I did find myself pulling for Indiana. I love the story. And this is the anti-dynasty feel in me. I'm a parity guy. I love that anybody can come out of anywhere, that somebody can come out of the pack and win. And kind of a 4 seed coming out of the middle of the East to win would be the example of that, wouldn't it be?
We got to give some more credit to the NBA Cup.
Did they win the NBA Cup?
They didn't win it.
Who did?
But
I have no idea. Who won the NBA Cup?
The last 2 losers.
Was it Milwaukee?
Of the NBA Cup. The Pacers and Thunder. And both of them find themselves in the NBA Finals.
Who won the NBA Cup?
Milwaukee.
It was Milwaukee.
Last one.
I don't know how I knew that. I knew the Lakers won the first one because they hung a banner. Did Milwaukee hang a banner when they won the NBA Cup? That's the in-season tournament, by the way, boys and girls. Did Milwaukee hang a banner?
All I know, it's going to help Doc Rivers get another job.
505-246-0610. Fernando Lovo, the athletic director at the University of New Mexico, scheduled to be with us at 8:30 this morning from Eugene. Talk to him about how New Mexico is going to handle the results, the fallout, the moving forward from the House settlement. We'll talk to him about his freshman Ishmael Kipkouri winning the national championship at the 10,000 meters. New Mexico goes 1-2 yesterday in that race, with Habtom Samuel finishing second. They are now second as New Mexico in the team standings after day 1 at the NCAA track and field championships. JJ, 10,000 meters is how many miles? 6.213712 miles. That's a hell of a kick after 6 miles, right?
Yes.
Dude, I mean, sprinted. I'm watching, I'm thinking, I think dude's sprinting faster now after running almost 6 miles and than I could fresh running 100 meters. And that's, I guess, why they're world-class athletes and, old, fat, and bald. I got it.
I mean, the average show Olympics right before the real Olympics put everything in perspective.
Yeah, fair enough. Get engaged. Want a beautiful piece of jewelry? If you're getting engaged, you want the ring. the ring, the one she's going to love forever, but there's no way to know, is there? Unless you kind of, go shopping with her, and then we'll do that, and John Thomas Jewelers will get that done for you. But how do you know she's going to love it before you give it to her? At John Thomas Jewelers, they've created something called the No Regrets ring, and this is not just genius, it's beautiful. It's a ring that you design with John Thomas Jewelers, a ring that you will see in 3D, a ring that you can preview. They will make you a 3D printed wax ring before it's made in precious metals, so you see exactly what it is you're getting. They have 3,000 bridal rings right now on hand to go try on, go look at. And if they don't have exactly what it is you want, or if you don't know what you want, they'll walk you through and they'll make it for you. If she wants something different, though, you buy her the ring. If she wants something different, you have an entire year to redesign it after you propose. There's no penalty even on custom-made rings. That's right, a full year warranty on custom rings, on everything. Their rings come with a free lifetime nationwide warranty. Their diamonds, they select them by themselves in Antwerp. That's in Belgium. That's the diamond capital of the world. So it's the No Regrets ring. It's your love story. Let's make sure you make it right. The No Regrets ring is exclusively at John Thomas Jewelers. John Thomas Jewelers is my jeweler. Father's Day is coming up. You're looking for something really cool? Stop by, see what they've got there. It's not just about women's engagement rings. They've got everything you can think of. And if not, they will make it for you. I walked through them the first time. John was my jeweler. They're on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal. Go by, see why they've been voted best jeweler in Albuquerque for 4 straight years, why they are one of America's coolest jewelry stores, as voted by In-Store Magazine. 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310, 3rd floor, Lewis University building, 1 block south of Manal. John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
It is penal. Former Aztec double bogeys, 2 over par. U.S. Open is underway at Oakmont. It's gettable. Phil Mickelson. Every time I look, they show Phil Mickelson, I'm like, wow, who's that dude? There's another lefty out. Like, Phil's skinny. And it just looks, I mean, I don't know. We're used to Phil Mickelson being hefty, that hefty lefty. But, he's out there. He's even after 5, tied for 14th place. So, in all, there are 77, well, more than that. There are 78 golfers on the golf course so far. And only 13 of them are under par. J.J. Spawn is your leader, the former Aztec, -4. Gary Woodland, -3. Rory McIlroy, Siwoo Kim, Wyndham Clark, Nicholas Norgard are all -2. Adam Scott, Bryson. Look at Bryson's making a move. Bryson is -1. He started out with a bogey, birdied 5 and 7. So and Bryson looks real out there. He looks real. So I'll keep you up to date as we go. All right, the Kevin Durant stuff. I don't know what's a bigger story. Well, I do know what's a bigger story. I mean, the Pacers are a bigger story, but because New York's involved in this somehow, I guess Kevin Durant's big. I think Kevin Durant's a big deal. Suns are going to trade Kevin Durant. I don't think anybody doubts that. Rich Kleiman is his business partner. Rich Kleiman is the boardroom CEO. And evidently, one of the biggest reasons that Kevin Durant reportedly turned down the trade to Golden State back around the trade deadline was because the Suns, Ludwig Oberg just made another birdie, he's at -2, was because the Suns did not consult with Kleiman. Now look, Durant's 36 years old. He's in the final year of his deal. JJ, wherever he goes, he's going to want the guarantee that he's going to get another big contract. And I don't know what you think he's worth. The other piece here, JJ, is reportedly the Suns want in return a package similar to what they paid to get Kevin Durant. Well, what the Suns gave for Kevin Durant is borderline obscene. The Suns gave up Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 unprotected first-round picks and a 2028 pick swap. With all due respect to the Suns and what Kevin Durant was, and by the way is, they need to put down the pipe because they're not getting anything close to that.
Ding, ding, ding. You're talking about a dude that's turning 37 in September.
That's right.
Can he help a team? Yes. Are you giving up everything to get him? I don't think there's anyone close enough that can give up a player or 2 plus multiple first-round picks and be able to say, hey, now we can go over the top. Because some of the deals you're talking about, everyone's saying, yeah, get him to Minnesota with Anthony Edwards. But
how?
It's given up one of those young pieces and maybe Dante DiVincenzo and even Rudy Gobert conversation because of the salary. And it's like, okay, are you that much better with just Kevin Durant and losing
Well, I don't
all
think
the
Kevin
potential
Durant
depth?
would want that either, because then he's going to a depleted place. He wants to go somewhere where he can win. And I, there's so much focus on the Knicks. I think the most logical places, and when I say, what a play by Bryson, dude. He just putted from way off the green, and he's got he's good. Who's got the resources? It's Minnesota. I'm sorry, it's Houston and San Antonio, right? Who have the assets to give, right? I don't know what New York's got that everybody wants me to go to New York out there, because every talking head, it'll be great, it'll be great. If he goes to New York, they're going to deplete New York, and I again, what's going to be left for him to win a championship with, right? Who's got the assets to get him? And what does that mean? It's not 4 first-round picks and 3 frontline players, but it probably is a frontline player and a couple of picks and maybe 2 players, right? Two players to make salary work, and then probably two first-round picks. Don't you think? I mean, it's still pretty damn good.
Think I do think Minnesota is fascinating because they have some lottery picks, young players that aren't in their rotation yet. And do they feel that, hey, maximizing one of those assets, and if you could get out of Rudy Gobert's contract,
absolutely. Why would Phoenix take that?
Because at some point you have to move on. And if you know you could get a couple, say you get 2 picks, future picks, you have to start rebuilding that.
But here's my thought. Okay, I get it. If that's all that's on the table, I got to believe somebody else is offering me something better, and I don't have to eat that.
I'm not sure, especially if Katie is saying, hey, he wants one more bite at the apple, and that's the 37-year-old that wants to get paid $120 million.
And who's doing that, though, too? How many years do you want for 120? 2?
The 2.
That's insane. But he's going to get it. Fernando Lobo's going to be with us coming up at, or scheduled to be with us coming up at 8:30 this morning. The athletic director at the University of New Mexico. Going to talk to him about the national champion that he got last night in track and field. House settlement moving forward. Maybe a little bit of the Mountain West Pac-12 stuff as well. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. You have found us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single
JJ Buck.
A pretty good night of watching last night. Pacers 116, Thunder 107. Indiana is up 2-1 in the NBA Finals. Nobody. I don't know, find me. Go find me receipts who gave a chance. I'm not sure they're going to win this thing. In fact, I'm on in Oklahoma City, as most of you are. But that was something. And then maybe you flipped over in the fourth quarter and watched the back end of the 10,000 meters at the NCAA championships. Lobos go 1-2. Turquoise 1-2 in the 6.21371 mile race, JJ. Freshman Ishmael Kapkuri with a kick. Hampton Samuel followed him 1-2. Lobos were in second place after day one at the NCAA men's track and field championships in Eugene, Oregon. We got the U.S. Open underway. Golf's third major of the year. Oakmont is the challenge, and it is challenging. J.J. Spawn is your leader. 4 under after 10 holes in the first round. Gary Woodland is one stroke back at -3, and then there's a group at 2 under that includes Adam Scott now, Rory McIlroy, Ludwig Oberg. They are all -2. Bryson DeChambeau is at -1. And only, what have I got? 13 golfers who are under par. And there are 78 of them on the golf course. 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. 505-246-0610. I already gave the track update. Fred doesn't get to come on every, is he sponsored now? I mean, I don't know. Are you paying for the segment now? I already gave the track and field update. You told me what time to watch. I tuned in. I watched the Lobos go 1-2. In fact, you missed me early. When I went to bed last night, Ishmael Kapkuri was coming on with us at 9 o'clock. And then I got a text at 12 something at night. Yeah, he's going to sleep in, and check with us after the 5,000. So, yeah, he's not coming on.
The thing that's so cool is right at the start of the whole thing, they were all talking about USC, Georgia, Arkansas, LSU, Texas A&M. It was kind of funny because then someone said to that Laura Overton, the third person that was up there, said, well, you don't seem to be happy with who we picked. And she said, look, New Mexico. And then she just started talking about New Mexico and talking about Sammy and Curry and Koji. And she said if they happen to win, you know what?
Well, if they go 1-2.
They could win the whole thing.
Yeah, she said if they go 1-2. Boy, and look, they had a half hour to talk about it because it's a long race. But They gave them a ton of love. New Mexico got a ton of love on that broadcast last night.
I'd like to find out if this has ever happened where a guy runs a 10,000 and runs a 53.38. I bet that's never happened before. Right. That's impossible.
For the last lap? Yeah, I mean, was that because it was not a fast pace for the race itself. It was a super slow pace. But boy,
I couldn't believe it.
But did he find
I'm so
a kick.
happy. And then we look forward to Koski, the girl now running the 10,000 finals tonight at
what time?
I think it's at.
Come on, Fred. Come on, Fred. Jiminy Christmas. What time?
7:56 it's supposed to be.
All right, I'll flip over from the hockey and I'll watch it.
But I got a couple other things real quick.
All right.
Mathurin.
Yeah.
You know, I don't keep up during the season much on basketball, but I remember him being from Arizona,
yeah, he was great,
but I don't remember him being the stud that he is. But it's unbelievable. They were interviewing him, and he was so calm, and they couldn't believe how calm he was. And this guy averages 16 points a game during the season.
That's right.
Scores 27 points in 22 minutes, which is crazy. I mean, this guy's really helped. But then I want to say one more thing about my Red Sox. I haven't said much about them because they haven't been doing very good. But in the last 3 days, they had a 21-year-old who's the number one prospect in baseball, Anthony, another guy, Mayer, who's the number 4 prospect, and Campbell, all starting for the Red Sox, beating the Yankees once and beating Tampa Bay twice, and, of course, losing once against each one of them. But just watch out for my Red Sox. Give them some time, though, but they're 21, 22, and 22, and Anthony hit a home run at Worcester the other day, 497 feet. So watch out for my Red Sox.
All right. Thanks, Fred.
All right, guys.
See ya. 7:56 tonight, right? Is that what he told me? 7:56. I'll watch that. 505-246-0610. If you want to come in, you can. Rockies lost last night. 12-50 what? I wrote down there. I'll find it again. What Bud Black's record was, because obviously he was brutal, right? He was the reason. When Bud Black got fired, they were 7-33. What are they now? 12-50 what? 54, 55, 57? I mean, we're on our way. Obviously, and I told you at the time, it was not Bud Black's fault. But he took the hit. They're 28 games out. 12-55. So since Bud Black got fired, they're 5-22. I mean, is that akin to 7-33? It is, right? They're the same team under Warren Schaefer. They got beat last night. The Giants. At least the Giants didn't play a one-run game yesterday. It was 10-7. Snapped their streak of one-run games. I mean, that's something. All right. Well, let me read something for you, or let me give you some of the stuff that you're sending in on the emails. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Bourne says, might as well give it up, Jeffy. No one's going to call asking for JJ Spawn updates. No one's going to go on the tee from the USA, Russell Henley. There's one guy this OD cared about, and he may never play again. Nobody said, well, whatever. Bourne, you're wrong. Again, if you're not watching the U.S. Open, that's cool. Golf's numbers are still really, really, really strong. Tiger's not playing. I don't have Tiger Woods updates for you. But with all due respect, golf's ratings, golf's numbers, golf's popularity is still really, really good. I'm not telling you you're Tiger good, but still really good. And yeah, a lot of people do care. Hondo says, I tried, Jeff. I watched for about 5 minutes. the same theory. But without LeBum, without Steph, I couldn't and had to flip the channel to Alice reruns. There hasn't been a more boring championship game since San Antonio snores. From Hondo. I again, so vehemently disagree. Last night's basketball to me was really entertaining. Am I just wrong? Am I just an addict? Or I have to have LeBron or Steph Curry in the finals? I mean, like Hondo watched Alice reruns, which is cool. I don't know where you found them, but kiss my grits, Hondo. That's a Alice reference. Flo used to say.
I have no idea what.
Yeah, but Hondo does. So Hondo, kiss my grits. It's a character, Flo, on that show.
The insurance person?
No. She worked in the diner. A different Flo, like Flo before this Flo, like long ago Flo.
That helped me feel young again.
Is this boring because there's no LeBron and no Steph?
I do not find it boring.
Nor do I. Now, I understand the ratings are down.
And that is why we are here.
But the ratings are down in large part because it's two small markets. There's no New York, San Francisco, Dallas, Los Angeles, Chicago, Miami. But, I mean, all right. Again, I'm not going to tell you what to like. I disagree with you thinking it's boring. So he's not watching golf because there's no Tiger, and he's not watching hoops because there's no LeBron and no Steph. All right. I mean, again, cool. Do your thing. Gus says most valuable position in sports is having a closer in baseball, Jeffy. We saw it again yesterday with boos at the normally friendly confines when the baseball team of Albuquerque blew another one. When you don't have a closer, you have to try to manufacture outs late in the game, or closed by committee. Neither usually ends with a favorable result. Nope, Topes were up 4-1 going into the last inning, and they got beat. Howard, good morning. Kiss my grits. What's happening?
Well, you know, I got to tell you, I'm not sure. Hondo needs to give it a little more than 5 minutes because this is a pretty good finals. I mean, we may not have the star power, but we have the future star power in this finals. And the athleticism of these young men and just the overall game, the comebacks, everything. It's a pretty doggone good finals right now. It's not epic Boston Laker or something like that. But I think right now, as we stand, we're being treated to a pretty good finals.
Let me tell you something. If you put these same exact individuals in Laker and Boston uniforms, and you said, the Lakers were going to win, Boston had no chance, and they were coming back and do what Indiana's done. If you put them in Laker and Boston uniforms, people would have an absolutely different response. I'm 1,000% convinced of that.
Absolutely. I agree. And I think it's, the play is physical, and these young men are just showing the fortitude they have. I mean, Indiana, I was counting them out. I said, OKC's going to pull away in the end. Indiana just never went away. They were like gum on a shoe, and they never went away.
Gum on a shoe.
So, Hondo, give it a little more than 5 minutes, Hondo.
Yeah.
Have a good day, guys.
All right, man. Do you disagree with me? If Oklahoma City was the Lakers and Indiana was the Celtics, same exact roster, same coaches, just different cities, different uniforms, would I be hearing the same thing?
No, you would not.
Right?
It's life. It's what you're drawn to. There's a reason name brand stuff sells.
That's right. You buy Nikes instead of LeVar Ball shoes. Well, okay, LeVar's Ball shoes fell apart. What were those called? Big Baller brand?
You'd rather wear the Nikes than the Shaqs you get at Walmart.
Yeah. But Big Baller brand. That's what they were, right? What was he selling those things for? And then they were falling apart. And then people weren't getting them. They were spending their money. They weren't getting them. And yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Fernando Lobo due to be with us coming up at 8:30. When we come back, the lawsuits against the House settlement are starting, and this one was obvious. The ladies, the Title IX, the constitutionality of this is being questioned. We'll get into that a little bit when we get back. NBA Finals are well underway. You can catch every single second of it at Twin Peaks. Wall-to-wall TV, scenic views, cold 29-degree draft beers, mouth-watering eats. Whether you want wings or burgers or flatbreads, you name it, they got it. It's hot and it's ready. So grab your crew, order a bucket, settle in for the finals all the way through the final buzzer because it's championship season, and there's no better seat than at Twin Peaks. And, of course, the U.S. Open is going on right now. You can't make it there because you're here. They're already underway. Twin Peaks has every swing, every chip, every putt on those TVs. The cold beer keeps you cool. It's great golf. They got bourbon, the best views in the game. Do you know it's Bourbon Week? National Bourbon Week going on right now. You can enjoy a rare selection of bourbons and cocktail specials. Barrel select pours handpicked by the Lodge. Stop by for the golf, the hoops, the bourbon, and the greatest views in the game. It's all at Twin Peaks.
This report is sponsored by Deere.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood.
Greens at the U.S. Open are brutal. Remember the putt that Rory missed at the Masters, the 4-footer in there? Oh, he choked. Bryson just had about 2.5 feet. Lipped it out. Now he's got 3.5 coming back. I mean, they're just so hard. But you sit on your couch. Oh, he choked. How do you miss that? JJ Spahn's your leader at the U.S. Open. They're playing the first round at Oakmont. Spahn -4. Gary Woodland -3 and a group at -2. Adam Scott, Rory McIlroy. Bryson just made that comeback for bogey, so he'll be at even par. All right, the House settlement came out. JJ, we've had a lot of people asking, how does Title IX play into this? And the thought is, and we've heard the formulas coming out of certainly Power 4 schools, but I believe this is going to be somewhat the model, is that, yeah, revenue sharing, and it's going to be revenue sharing. College athletic departments can share up to $20.5 million with student athletes in the form of payments. And it's going to go 75% football, 15% men's basketball, 5% women's basketball, and then 5% for the Olympic sports. And so many of you have asked, well, what about Title IX? And I think the interpretation has been Title IX falls outside of this settlement because Title IX constitutes and provides, and Title IX is a federal law, equal opportunity for women, but not equal pay. Well, I mean, it didn't take long. Yesterday, a group of women's sports representatives, there was 8 women, filed a appeal citing Title IX violations. That this House settlement violates Title IX, which is a federal law. They're arguing that the House settlement, which officially ended the long-standing amateurism model, right, violates Title IX's gender equality statute since it does not include any language that directly addresses Title IX. That's what we've talked about, right? According to the attorney, Lee Ernst, quote, the House settlement allocates $2.4 billion to men and only $102 million to women. The significant disparity constitutes a violation of Title IX. That was his quote. There's 8 objectors. Cross-country runner from Vanderbilt. A runner from College of Charleston, soccer players and volleyball players, and so women, former women athletes. This should surprise nobody that this is coming. And it also may delay the payments, and from what I've been reading, up to several months before the former athletes start getting paid that back money. I don't know how you feel about this, and I don't know that I'm versed enough in Title IX law, JJ, to get here, but the way it's been explained to me many, many times, and maybe it was a slanted explanation, was Title IX provides for equal opportunity, but not necessarily the equal pay. It's a civil rights law, prohibits sex-based discrimination in education programs and activities who receive federal assistance. Enacted in 1972, it ensures that no one's excluded from participation in, denied the benefits of, here's your argument, or discriminated against in such programs based on gender. I mean, I can see the interpretation going either way, can't you? Benefits thereof.
Benefits thereof. Yes, there's ways both sides are going to attack this that they feel is going to slant things right in their direction. When it comes to revenue sharing, I think this could be something that isn't 50-50. That actually gets to the point of, oh, you have the opportunity, but that doesn't mean equal pay.
Yeah. No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving financial assistance. To me, the key, and again, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not really comfortable playing lawyer here, but somebody's got to work with me. Denied the benefits of is not now the benefits of include getting paid NIL and back pay. I think they got a case, don't you? Again, I'm not rooting one way or the other. I'm not looking to muddy the water.
But does that mean equal? Like in terms
Does
of.
it mean equal? Is that what you asked?
Yeah. Like again, like if
That's
you're getting
totally
a benefit.
Fair. No, it's totally fair.
Hey, you're getting 5% doesn't mean you're going to get 50%.
And as the lawsuit said, what, 2.4 billion going to men, 100 and something million going to women, so that you're getting the benefits. Maybe it's something we talked to Fernando Lobo about a little bit too. And how we deal with that. All right, when we come back, we are scheduled to have a conversation with University of New Mexico Athletic Director Fernando Lobo. Talked to him about the championship last night for Ishmael Kapkouri, a national championship. And then how UNM is planning moving forward to deal with the House settlement, maybe a little Mountain West Pac-12 if he's got anything for us. It's the opening drive. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This message brought to you by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales.
Well, you've heard about it over and over again. The House settlement, the House settlement. You've heard it for, I want to say, the better part of a year. What is it going to mean? Oh, when the House settlement gets settled, then July 1st, everything will change. Well, just within the last few days, the House settlement was approved and moving forward, and starting July 1st. College athletic departments will be paying student athletes in the House settlement, and we'll all start feeling our way and navigating our way through this new era. This is seismic in regards to college athletics. This is one of those benchmark moments going forward. But I think there's a lot of uncertainty, and now schools are going to have till the end of the month to decide whether or not to opt into the revenue share, how much they're going to be able to share. You saw the number $20.5 million as a cap, which is going to be, it's the average of about 20 to 22% of the Power Four's average athletic budget. But obviously, New Mexico State are not there. How's New Mexico going to deal with it? It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. But first off, you had a national championship last night, and we told you about Ishmael Kapkouri winning the 10,000 meters with Haptom Samuel coming in second, a 1-2 turquoise Lobo sweep at the 10,000 meters. New Mexico is second right now after day one at the NCAA Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon. That's where their athletic director, Fernando Lobo, joins us this morning. Good morning, Fernando. Congratulations on a big night last night. How you living?
Good morning, guys. It's a great day to be a Lobo. It's sun shining here in Eugene, Oregon, and the turquoise was in full force last night. So it was a heck of a day for UNM athletics and for the state of New Mexico last night. And we got more to come tonight, and Friday should be great as well with the follow up to our men's competition. So thanks for having me on this morning.
I appreciate you getting up. Sunshine in Eugene, first of all, isn't all that common. So enjoy that. You're watching the race. We were all watching on TV last night, and I know Haptom at some point was way back of the pack, and Ishmael Kapkouri, your freshman, was hanging on, and then the kick on that last lap, and 53 point whatever it was in the last lap. As you're watching with obviously vested interest, how does the athletic director watch a national championship race like that? How are your emotions?
Yeah, I was a nervous wreck for about 23 and a half laps. I was up in the I go sit up in the upper deck so that I can make sure I can just focus in. And I was up there with Amy Began, our incredible SWA, and about halfway through the race, I said, "Aim, I need to know what's the strategy here because I can't take it." And she goes, just trust it. Darren told me this is what it was going to be, and sure enough, you kind of saw Haptom just kind of start to maneuver himself, and then, I don't know if it was, it's probably hard to see on TV, but there was a little bit of jockeying for position.
Yeah, no, there was a push. There was a solid push.
Yeah, like through the early laps and other stuff, and then towards the end there. I mean, you mentioned it. I mean, wow, just when Ish just took off, and then Haptom, did as well. I mean, those are just two elite athletes that are obviously national champions, Olympians. I mean, you name it, right? But they are such good individuals, and to see them just do that for us, for this institution, for the state, was so cool. But I will tell you, I was a nervous wreck, but it ended up exactly how we wanted it. And you mentioned it, and in your opening, I mean, we're number 2 right now. We're tied with Florida behind Minnesota, and I was having dinner with Darren after the championship last night, and I said, look, I'm not going to jinx it, but just start walking me through what it's going to look like. And we've got Matthew running the steeplechase on Friday, and he should be one of the favorites. And then those two will run again, Ish and Halftime in the 5K, and we'll see where it goes. But Darren was really cool to see. He was being recognized by his peers last night, high fives, hugs, and there was a lot of schools, with other logos on that were cheering for the Lobos.
That's
so it was
cool.
just really cool to see.
That's a great night. Congratulations on that. He's Fernando Lobo, the athletic director at the University of New Mexico. All right, big announcement, and nobody's surprised by this. I know you've been preparing for the House settlement to get approved. To ask how you move forward is way too vague of a question. So I guess, I know you're opting into revenue share. In the immediate, I guess you decide how much you're able to share. What's the immediate plan moving forward to now adopt to what is the new now?
Yeah. So the first thing that we had to have in place was a structure and a process to actually execute the system that the House settlement provided, the forward-looking system, right, the injunctive part of the settlement. And, we've been working very, very hard since I got here in December. And, again, I say it all the time, and I never stop saying it. My team is just terrific. They came in. I was able to bring some of the stuff we were doing at Texas right before I left, and so we had a kind of a good structure to set up. So, these things are, they're licensing agreements. There's MOUs, there's long-form agreements. I mean, these are fully baked, agreements for us to be able to use these young men and women and their NIL rights. And so before you start talking about anything financially, you got to have the structure in place. And we've got that. We're well down the pathway there. I mean, we had to rebuild a football and a basketball team and both on the men's and women's side. And so we had to make sure that we had our systems in place. So we got that. And then, you start to focus on, what does it look like financially and what makes sense for us. And it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. And, for us, we know in order for us to remain competitive, we have to continue what we've been able to start. And I say I give a lot of credit to Kurt Roth and 505 with NIL, that we can't take a step back. We've got to continue to push. And so, we're not going to set a benchmark and say this is where we're going to be and we're going to stay there. We're always going to try to push and push and push. And, our sports deserve more. Our coaches deserve more. And so obviously we've got to generate revenue and increase some of the things that we're doing to get to that level. But, we're not going to just be beholden to a number. We're going to continue to evaluate it, look at it, and have conversations with our coaches about what the landscape looks like and what makes sense for us. I said in my letter, our goal is to be competitive in the Mountain West and against the peers outside of the Mountain West that we recruit against. And we mean that. We're going to continue to look, evaluate, discuss, and we're always going to do what's best for the Lobos. So more to come on that, but really excited about our structure and how we've gone about at least having the tools in place to be able to move forward with this settlement.
Fernando, you mentioned Kurt Roth and the collective. What part or what role will collectives, but more specifically your collective, have moving forward, if any?
Yeah, great question. And, it depends on, where you are and kind of your dynamic. A lot of Power 4 schools, as you mentioned so eloquently in your opening about the $20.5 million cap, a lot of those schools, probably all of those schools, are going to be sharing up to that cap, and so as we've all seen the articles about $30 million football rosters and whatever else. So those schools that are sharing up to the cap, they need abilities to go source true NIL deals outside of that cap so they can, have a roster that allows them to go above and beyond that. We obviously are not in that position, so that's not something that we're going to be looking to do. But what for us, NIL, you can't say NIL without having 505 roll off your tongue right after it. The equity that 505 Sports Ventures has in our community is really unique across the country. And so, we're going to continue to work together to host events. It's all about generating revenue, right, and excitement towards our student athletes. And so, we talk to Kurt a lot. Obviously, him and his board, they have a great understanding of what this new age of college athletics looks like. And so, we're going to continue to partner on things, and we're going to continue to try to be creative because, everything counts and everything matters. We need every penny. We need every dollar that our community can give us as we continue to push push our programs forward, and having Kurt's voice and his board's voice in alignment with what we're doing is absolutely critical, so that we're all on the same page and we're all rowing the boat in the same direction. Because when we do, and as we've seen up until this point, it's a powerful thing for both of us to be aligned, and we'll continue to do so. And I'm excited to keep working with him and his board moving forward.
Lobo Athletic Director Fernando Lobo is with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, I know you guys were having a lot of conversations last weekend about just trying to take the steps forward, but I think the challenge in all this is there's always another lawsuit. Like, there's a lawsuit now with Title IX and women athletes saying, hey, we want a bigger share of the revenue. Is there anything that you guys are talking about, a structure, whether it's getting the student athletes to the table, maybe even as a players union, where it's going to stop the lawsuits at some point?
Yeah, it's so interesting because right before you called, I had my I was watching. There's a congressional hearing this morning, and I think it's a pretty important moment for us, and I think all of us as athletic directors are tuned in because, the House settlement was a huge step. Obviously, I just this Monday and Tuesday I was in Orlando with my colleagues at one of our conventions, and we had an AD meeting. And I think one of the most encouraging things that I took from that meeting is everybody in that room is aligned that, if we follow these rules and the structure that the settlements put in place, this system will be better. It will be, and I believe that as well. And it will provide opportunities, because what people forget is, yes, the revenue sharing piece is part of it, but the other part is that we no longer have scholarship limits. We have roster limits, and so we're able to be really flexible, with what we do with our other sports in terms of providing additional dollars towards scholarships, because that's real. I mean, that is real for our sports, and it's something that we're mindful of. And so, I do hope, like I think a lot of people do in the industry, that we're able to find some pathway to federal intervention and just help, so that we can get at some point, to the table and start having some, you call them negotiations or whatever. At my time in the NFL, I got to see how a CBA worked and all of that. And I think there's a lot of merit in that because, the enforceability, and everybody talks about it, your teams get poached and, you have a great team, a great player, and all of a sudden a Power 4 school comes knocking and, you're not able to retain them. I do think that if we're able to have some congressional help and we can come to the table with our student athletes, I think we can end up in an even better place than we are right now, which will help us, in all of us, and particularly at the Group of 5 level, be able to sustain and keep our rosters if we have some sort of enforcement mechanism that we can actually use. And so I think that, I'm optimistic. I hope that Congress, now with the House settlement, has some clarity and some motivation to really push it forward. And I think if that happens over the next couple of months or year, whatever it might be, that we can do exactly what you just asked, and that's come to the table and let's look at what is, I'm using air quotes here, but collective bargaining look like, because I do think there's some meat left on that bone that would help us solve some of these additional problems, and litigation that you mentioned is coming.
I know everyone has been having to evolve with this as it goes, but when you talk to coaches, just what are some of the things that they want or they just hope to get moving forward from their day-to-day?
Yeah, I think what everybody hopes for is just more clarity and more understanding of what is permissible and what isn't permissible. Because, look, we're never going to be on the same playing field as, a Power 4 school in the SEC or the Big Ten, whatever it might be. But I think with clarity, I'm speaking for our coaches here. We have really good coaches that are very smart and very pragmatic about how they build their roster. And the chaos in the absence of the settlement, in terms of what schools can and can't do and how things were getting done, I think was making it challenging for our coaches to frankly do their jobs. And so, our coaches, they want a lot of things, and I agree with them on a lot of it. But I think the biggest thing that I've felt is just some clarity and some true guardrails that would exist that can be enforced. Because again, I think if everybody plays the game as intended in the settlement, in the injunctive portion of the settlement, I do think it will help college athletics kind of come out of this chaotic, environment that we've been living in over the last few months. It's not going to completely solve it, but with clarity. And I think this is what this settlement has provided. I'm hopeful and optimistic that it's providing not just our coaches, but coaches across the country with some pathway and vision forward as to how this thing should work and what it should look like.
All right, this is way too short, and I'd love to get you, when you get back in town, I'd love to get you here in studio for a couple of segments and go over, because there's so many issues, and I appreciate the time. Lastly, any update, the mediation between the Mountain West Pac-12, I think it's in its fourth week. I love the fact that it's been so silent, but I hate the fact that it's been so silent in some respects.
Yeah.
We're hitting some deadlines, too, here at the end of the month, certainly for the Pac-12. Media rights deals are pending. Anything that you can share as far as Mountain West moving forward and anything coming with a settlement there, potentially?
Yeah, no, obviously we can't share much of anything, just given how things are going and where it's at. But what I can tell you is that, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by the fact that conversations are happening, that these discussions, although they're not easy, and sometimes they may be hard or uncomfortable, that they're happening, and they're happening frequently. Because you said it best, right? Time is of the essence. We as a conference, we have to move forward. And obviously we saw that the departing members gave their intent, their formal intent to depart. And so, we all, I think as a membership, I won't speak for all of us, but certainly for UNM, we're encouraged, we're hopeful that, again, back to the clarity of the settlement, that hopefully we get some clarity from our conference standpoint here in the coming weeks or months, because I'm bullish on the future. I said that when I got hired, and 6 months later I feel the same way. But I'm even more bullish about the future of UNM athletics in the new Mountain West, because, we're going to continue to do everything we need to do to be the preeminent brand in that conference. And that's not easy. It isn't. And that requires commitment, belief, and it requires resources. And, the one thing I do want to say, because I've heard some people say this, and I just want to, be clear about this. People see a $20.5 million number associated with the House settlement. That's not new money for us. We don't. The money doesn't fall out of the sky. In fact, we have to lose about $500,000 to $600,000 a year to pay back damages, and so. Which is a great thing for these student athletes that are getting compensated that weren't able to in the past. But it's going to take all of us. It's going to take us as an administration being creative, pulling all the levers possible from a revenue standpoint. And it's going to take all of Lobo Nation to understand and realize we've got a moment in time right now that if we all step up and we all understand what's in front of us, we can change the trajectory of this great institution and this great athletic department, and I firmly believe that. And so that's my call to action, and I appreciate you giving me the platform, Jeff, to do that, and I certainly would love to come in studio and to continue the conversation.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's a critical moment for us.
Let's do that when you get back. Hey, and I talked to a couple of your colleagues in the last couple of weeks. Is it fair to assume in the mediations there's a number, there's a floor? I think it's 150-something million if you just go by what was signed. Pac-12 is trying to get out of the poaching fees. Is it fair to say, hey, here's a floor number, we're not going past it? I hope that, for the Mountain West sake, I hope that's the case, without getting into details. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah, I would say that that's fair in the sense that, we all understand, that these are critical decisions long term, and there's financial implications to it, right? And and it goes back to, being able to provide our student athletes and our coaches with everything we need. And so, again, I'm very bullish on what Commissioner Navarez is doing and kind of the approach there. And so, I think we all have something in mind that we're looking at, but we'll see how it plays out, because as just like the House settlement, changed every day. These sorts of conversations do as well, but we'll see where it goes, and I'm excited to see where it transpires.
Good luck in Eugene. Enjoy the sunshine. Doesn't happen very often. It's a beautiful spot. Congratulations on the success. And we'll see you soon. Thank you very much for the time.
Yep. Talk soon. Go Lobos.
Be well. Fernando Lobo, the athletic director of UNM, on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report.
Boswell and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain.
I think they're all trying to figure it out. What he said is we're going to be competitive. You know, there's part of me sound like, you know, that what's the commercial for one of those job sites? You know, what's the salary? It's competitive. If it was a number, it would be competitive, right? Like, oh, I got a number. Is it competitive? Right? It kind of sounded a little like that because I don't think they know yet. You know, what are they going to be able to do? And I love the fact that Kurt Roth is going to be part of it because I think he needs to be and should be.
It's all about continuing that fundraising and investment level.
Yeah, well, it's all about money. Ain't a damn thing funny. You got to have a job in this land of milk and honey. It's a little Grandmaster Flash from back in the day, but it's true. And it's going to be about raising. And he's got the attitude that everybody else has. And when we talked to Amber Burge the other day at New Mexico State, same way. You've got to look at this as a positive because if you don't, you are defeated. Right? This is the new now. There's no conversation about, you know, do you like it? It doesn't matter. You have to look at it as a positive. You have to look at it as an opportunity because this is now either embrace it or get out. And so I appreciate that. And you move forward. You can have a conversation. I got an update for you at the U.S. Open. I'll give you that when we get back. 505-246-0610. That's for you to get in today. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive. He's J.J. Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
For 5 generations.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke.
Him in, and certainly Ishmael Kipkori winning the national championship at the 10,000 meters yesterday for UNM as they went 1-2 in that race. So there's a ton going on this morning. I don't know what number one on your list, but certainly an eventful morning.
Love it. What a Thursday.
Yeah, you're welcome to get in at 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. A couple other things just on what Fernando Lobo had to say. When he comes back, we'll get him in studio. And I know it was kind of a thin window for a thick subject, but they were prepared. He's leaning on his team. And I guess the message I got from him, and I'm not sure I got anything specific, is that, this is going to be good, that we are ready for this. We are working on revenue generation, and we will be competitive with our peers. And it goes back to some of the emails, JJ, that we got yesterday and the day before. And what are we doing? And you're never going to, try to catch Alabama and Michigan. You're not. And I think the mindset has to be for you, if you're going to continue to enjoy college athletics, is understand who you are and where you are. And you're not competing with Alabama, Michigan, and USC. You're competing with Wyoming and Nevada and UNLV and the peer institutions in your conference. And I think that bothered, right, when I responded that way to Sid yesterday. He said, then why are we even doing that? If we're competing with New Mexico State and Wyoming, and then why are we even doing it? And that resonated for me, JJ, because A, do you think I'm wrong when I say that? I mean, and B, I'm trying to find that I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. With whom because Sid's response just resonated in my head. If we're competing with those schools, then what are we even doing? Why are we doing this?
What
Who do you
happened
think you
last
are?
What did a UNM program do last night?
Well, they won a national championship, and they're second in the standings in the NCAA track and field.
Oh, how did they get there? By competing with programs that in the track and field world were on their level. And then it gives you the opportunity to play on the biggest stage. That is exactly what UNM is striving for. This is what the Mountain West Conference is going to look like in 2026. Can you be at the top of this conference moving forward, which will give you an opportunity to play on the biggest stage. And then once you get there, see what happens.
It's interesting because I think people say, well, if we can compete at the very top of track and field, why can't we in other sports? And I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, this is a non-revenue sport. You have altitude. You've got some advantages being geographically where you are in track and field and cross country. And then you bring in great coaches and you've attracted athletes. And and it takes one or two or three as opposed to football where it's just different. And you're not competing in an NIL world where now somebody may call and give Ishmael Kipkori a lot of money, but it's not going to be millions of dollars.
You never know.
I don't know.
Just takes one. Look at Texas Tech.
Well, fair enough. Texas Tech does whatever the hell they want, right?
But it's the point of you put yourself in position to compete in NCAA tournaments. And that starts with
getting there,
being the best in your conference.
Yeah, and being the best in your conference will get you there. I don't want that to come off disrespectful when I say, I'm trying to find a nicer way to say, well then who do you believe you are? Who do you believe that you should be competing with? When I say that, you can't just financially compete with the Alabamas, the Michigans, those high revenue schools. And I say you are, you're competing with your peer institutions and the responses, then why are we even doing this? I just wonder who you think you are and how you think you get there. Or why do you think you're better than Wyoming or New Mexico State or Nevada or UNLV or San Jose State or any of those institutions with whom you share a conference? Why do you think people think, well, we're better than that? When in fact, right? And it's okay to be in that league, in that conference. That's who you are. Should you strive to be something different? Should you strive? Yeah, I want to be in the Big 12 next time that there's realignment. And in 2031, when there's probably going to be another round, and UNLV is trying to position themselves for that, would you like to be in position as well? Yeah, I think you should strive for that. Well, how do you get there? Well, it's investment. It's success. It's football. And it's football. And then it's probably football. You think I'm wrong?
No.
Because the next time the Big 12 expands, Memphis thinks they're there, UNLV thinks they're there. For crying out loud, this is one of the biggest metropolitan areas in the country that's not in a Power 4 league. It is. Fact. Why would you not? Television market's good. The university's a research institution. You've got a big enrollment. Like when you take it just literally at the surface, why wouldn't UNM be in that conversation? Flagship university, terrific basketball, wonderful Olympic sports. Facilities are all right. Football's not. But why? The answer is, I know you don't want to hear it. I know you don't, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's been football. Frank, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Frank.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I think you called it right. I think that, in sports, or in life, actually, we want to be the best at everything.
Yeah.
And being the best means competing against the Alabamas, the Ohio States, and the Notre Dames, and whoever you have to compete against. Obviously, we're in a smaller conference and not a wealthy conference, and so we want to be the best in our conference. If we beat Alabama, I bet you we're the best in our conference.
Yeah.
And so, and I think you hit it right on the head. I mean, we are competitive at a national level in a variety of sports, mostly, Olympic sports. But we're competitive, golf and track and field and other sports. We need to just pick up our football program, and once we're competitive in that area, then I think we're in line for discussions about expansions, if that's what's going to happen, or consolidations. And so, but bottom line is, we always just want to be the best.
As you should be, right? And how do you be the best? And I think JJ laid it out. Be the best in your league. Give yourself that opportunity, right, to get into NCAA competition and win there, kind of like you did last night.
That's correct. Like we've done in basketball to get in the NCAA tournament. I mean, it's you got to win your division, you got to win your conference to get to that level to be considered, and then hopefully you have a good enough coaching staff and good enough players that you're able to be successful.
Yep.
And that really is the key. And it's nice, I think, that we have the structure around us now at UNM with the athletic department, from the top to the bottom. I think the personality is perfect for improvement and hopefully success.
Yeah, no, it's a great call, Frank, and it's good to hear you. Thanks, man. Appreciate
right,
you.
bye-bye.
Yeah, I think yes. And like Fernando Lobo just said, this is a critical time. It's always a critical time. Tell me when it's not. But this, again, I think, JJ, it's been frustrating for you and me. I think New Mexico missed out on the most recent critical time. Right? The last decade and a half was obviously critical. It's led to where we are now. All right? You're in your league. I'm not like embrace your league, but yeah, you got left behind. You did. It's not easy to say. It's not easy to accept. Whether you think San Diego State, Colorado State, Boise State, Utah State, Fresno State are better than you or not, they do. They picked up and left. They joined Oregon State, Washington State. They went to a different league. They formed a different league. They whatever. And you got left behind. It sucks. Now make the best of it. And if you think this is the last time realignment's happening, you're probably wrong. So now it's the next critical time, and you've got to align yourself in the best possible position for the next round. What happens next time? I don't know, man. But if everybody's signing grant of rights for the next 6 years, in about 4.5 years from now, there's going to be another round, don't you think? Will the Big 12 expand? Will the Power 4 pull away? Well, I don't know exactly how it's going to look. But I'm going to guess there's going to be another round. And I think you'd rather lead than be left behind in the next round. Remember when the WAC split, the Mountain West formed? And you were one of the leaders, right? New Mexico was one of those schools that left and formed the Mountain West. And the schools that got left behind, UTEP, they were pissed. They were bitter. What do you mean? What the hell happened? They got blindsided. I don't know if you got blindsided here. This thing has been coming for a while. Maybe you did the day it happened. But I think that's what he's saying. 505-246-0610. I'd love your thoughts on this. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com and JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. Who's watching your house? You're out and around right now. Maybe you're going on summer vacation. Make sure it's the good guys. International Protective Service. They're the good guys. They watch my home. Affordable private security. Trusted them for years. I was just traveling last week. They came by every day. In fact, there was a package that got delivered. They picked it up, so it wasn't sitting on the porch for somebody else to pick it up. I got home. They brought it by the other day. I got my package. Safe and sound, JJ. They'll pick up mail, newspapers, roll the garbage cans to the curb and back garbage day, all of those things. Plus, they install alarms and camera systems, and they have a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. It all raises the level of security around your home and business. So, who's watching your home? Look, don't wait to be a victim. You've worked too damn hard to build what you've got, your home, your business. Don't let a bad guy come in there and destroy it. Call IPS. Talk to them about what they can do for you. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. Online, they're at ipsglobal.com. International Protective Service is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
It is still JJ Spawn, the top of the leaderboard, as he makes his approach on number 14. The former Aztec leading the U.S. Open, -4 after 13 holes. Gary Woodland's a stroke back at -3. Thomas Dietrich, Siwoo Kim, and Ludwig Oberg. Look out. Everybody loves Oberg. They're -2. Bryson DeChambeau just chipped out of the lettuce into the shorter lettuce. He's not on the green. He's struggling. He's even. Roy McIlroy -1. Again, of all the players on the golf course, there are now 17 under par, and there are 78 golfers on the course. Some of the names: Patrick Cantlay, +4. Keegan Bradley, 4 over par. Cameron Smith, 3 over par. Hideki Matsuyama and Xander Schauffele, 2 over par. Phil Mickelson, 1 over par. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sports.wbq.com. Lobo Hobo sent me a text, said, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no NIL for foreigners, right? Lobo track seems to be mainly foreigners, and I thought you couldn't give NIL to non-citizens. There is a, JJ, this is hard for the international athlete thing. They could be in violation of their via immigration laws. Kurt Roth was the founder of the collective at UNM. And there is a way around this. There is a way to make sure, Mustafa Amsil, for instance, who was from Finland, right? Nelly Jr. Joseph, absolutely, was a beneficiary of NIL. He's from Nigeria. Bryson just freaking chipped in from, like after chipping from the junk to the minor junk, then he chipped in and saved his par. He's pretty crazy around the green too. So there is a way around it, right? As far as getting NIL to international players. I don't know exactly what it is, but Lobo Hobo, you're not wrong, but I think there's a way. Rod's worried about roster limits. What are we doing, Jefferson? Back in the day when there were higher roster limits, you recruited freshmen who knew they were likely going to redshirt, sit on the bench for a year or two. Today, when it's all mercenaries, no one wants to redshirt, no one wants to sit on the bench. So where's the playing time going to come from to keep all the extra guys happy? Should I pre-read these? It seems to me the entire process hasn't been clearly thought out. Where's the playing time come? Lobo Hobo again. NIL equals tariffs, Jeff. If no one has tariffs, then suddenly everyone does. You're in the same position relative to your competition as you were before. Ditto with NIL. If everyone has it, you're in the same relative space as before, except now you're spending a lot more money. Probably true. So I don't disagree with you. I think you're right. The caveat being, if you don't spend your money, you're way behind because everybody else is doing it. So you have to raise the money. Does raising the money, this is something, you and I talk about this a lot. Just because, and I know this has become one of my favorite little catchphrases, but I just think it needs to be reemphasized. Just because you spend the money does not guarantee you a championship. Right? Everybody thinks, I'm giving the NIL, we're going to get a quarterback, I'm going to buy. By the way, bogey for JJ sponsors back to, no, that was Shoffley, sorry. Just because you spend the money doesn't mean you get a championship, but I firmly believe if you don't spend the money, it guarantees you won't. So he's right. Yeah, you're in the same relative place, and it just costs more to do business, right?
As does everything.
I agree with you.
Do people think this was free or something 20 years ago?
I think it just didn't cost as much, right? But relative. Yeah, it's more. Yeah.
The gas didn't cost as much either.
I promise. Yeah. The cost of business, the evolution of college athletics is what again, this isn't, should we do it? This is how we're going to do it. So it's really what it is. Mike said, sounding good, Jeff Alou. Your Kiss My Grits was on point. Thank you. Lobo Hobo's in on the NBA and the ratings, and he's got a theory because the Pacers Thunder ratings are down. You know why they're down? Because it's two small market teams. LA, New York aren't in. Like my mom's like, she went upstairs and watched something else last night because the Lakers and Knicks weren't in. She's your fringe fans that would watch if the big markets. Basketball's still really good. But he says, since ABC is not carrying the NBA next year, they're trying to torpedo the product by not promoting it, putting it on awkward times, long lulls between games, etc. This weekend is Father's Day, so everyone's going to be jonesing for things to watch at Game 5's on Monday. First of all, they're promoting the hell out of it. Secondly, how do you think they're torpedoing it? Like what is different this year than any other year? I'm going to guess, Lobo Hobo, you sent me the same email about game times being spread out because they are every year in the finals, aren't they? They're not every other night. I don't think they're torpedoing the product. No, not at all. HB says, suggestion for Lobo, Jeff, who needs a new stadium? We can just paint yard markers and play Lobo football this year at the new state-of-the-art duck pond. Okay. Dan, Steve Trash, too. Jeffrey and Juan Jose. By the way, I said trash to make it funny. The reason the Suns got good to begin is by fleecing the Lakers for an old Steve Trash. They're trying to do it again with Durant. Yeah, but they won't. Well, maybe they will. Is someone desperate enough, JJ, to give the Knicks what they... to give the Suns... Thinking Knicks. To give the Suns what they want for Durant, meaning multiple firsts and a couple of impact players? Is there somebody desperate enough to do that?
No, because there has to be a balance. A couple impact players and picks. What does Kevin Durant do for your team then?
It's Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Look, I'm with you.
What has Kevin Durant done the last few years?
Put up numbers on a bad team.
It's always someone else.
Yeah.
You put Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. Well, Kyrie Irving tanked it in their injuries. All right, you put Kevin Durant in Phoenix. Well, it's Bradley Beal's contract.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm not arguing with you.
You know the one thing I've seen wherever LeBron James goes, it's not about this that team's competitive. That is not the fact with Kevin Durant.
Suns were not competitive. They weren't one of the 10 of 15 who made the postseason in the West.
Everyone at the end was like, "Oh, Russell Westbrook just wasn't this, that, or the other."
That's right.
All right, you go be awesome player with the Golden State Warriors. What have you done for me since then?
The Knicks just fired their coach. If there's a team that I feel that would be desperate, I kind of feel like it's them. I think that
especially because everyone is telling them no.
In regards to the coach?
Yeah.
Yes. So I think they made a move that I would disagree with, but it's not my team. And obviously the owner decided to go another way. That's fine. I don't believe, and I'll ask you, do you believe the Knicks as constructed are a championship team? Because I don't. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're good. They're close. Now, what would you have to give up to get Kevin Durant? What would you, if you're the Knicks, what would you offer? I don't even know what their draft pick status is. I have no idea what they got. But player-wise, I mean, it's going to take...
I know you'd have to, because of
Karl
what
Anthony
they've done to get some of the players in, especially with the Bridges trade, so that's a lot of draft capital.
Yeah.
So you'd have to hope Phoenix would be okay with, you're talking like 2029, 2030 type of draft picks.
And I'm not sure they are. It would take Cat. I mean, if you're Phoenix, you want Josh Hart. You want what do you want? But you want a lot. All right, when we get back, first round pick in the NFL walked out of camp. It's exactly what JJ was talking about yesterday. It's a team that is trying to play with the language in a contract and move it off of basic standard stuff. And this rookie just said, you know what? Kiss my grits. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
You're listening to the
Together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, And now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing.
One other note on the Fernando Lobo conversation, and appreciate him doing that. If you missed it, want to hear it again, it'll be posted on our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Click on the opening drive and you can find it there. In regards to the Mountain West Pac-12 mediation, I didn't expect him to give us any details. He did say he's encouraged where it's going. He likes where it's going. And we were talking about, JJ, I said, I'm going to assume there's a floor, that you guys have a number that, we'll settle at this. And he didn't give us a number, nor did I expect that. But it sounds like that's kind of what's happening, right? And we're 4 weeks deep into this thing. I mean, it's Thursday. We're 4 weeks deep into it. It sure sounds like that's where it is. And good for the Mountain West if this is what's happening, that they're not going to dip below their floor. Like, here's our number, whether it's 120 million, whatever the number is, and you're not going to go below it. I'm all about you. Because I think they feel they're right. Larry said, great interview with AD Lobo. I'm encouraged that Kurt and 505 Sports Ventures will continue to be involved. In my opinion, Kurt deserves a high-level leadership role with new revenue-sharing element as well as his role generating NIL. He's a key piece to keeping UNM relevant. 100%. If there's an MVP of Lobo Athletics, it would be Kurt Roth, dude. I mean, don't you agree?
He the real MVP.
No, seriously. Like, who's been more vital? Eddie Nunez, Fernando Lobo, Richard Pitino, Bronco Man. It's Kurt Roth, isn't it?
It was Kurt Roth to be able to get that basketball team to what they did the last year.
Richard coached him up, but he needed the resources, and Kurt went out and got that done. And obviously, all of you who contributed to 505 Sports Ventures have played a big part in that. All right, JJ, you hit this yesterday. We were talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. And will they be good? And you're like, if they can get people signed, especially defensively. They took a defensive end out of Texas A&M in the first round, 17th overall pick. Shamar Stewart is who they picked. He walked out of camp today. 3-day minicamp. He left. He hasn't signed his rookie deal. He hasn't participated in off-season workouts, although he was there. And I wasn't even aware of this until you made me aware of this yesterday. This is all about contract language, which would potentially void future guaranteed money for him. And he is absolute that he's right. And I don't think he's wrong. He said earlier the week that there was positive conversations, but he also said, and JJ, this is insane. The player says the organization is more concerned with winning arguments instead of winning games. He said, I'm 100% right in seeking contract language, which is standard to previous Bengals draft picks. The Bengals have a reputation of being cheap, of trying to cut corners, and this plays right into that. I don't know the Bengals side of this, other than we're trying to protect ourselves, but I don't know how this doesn't backfire on them.
They're realizing that they paid 2 wide receivers a boatload of money, and they're like, oh, we might need to make some cuts in other areas. I still don't know why they gave T. Higgins that deal.
I agree with you. He's really good.
But now they're trying to cut corners in other areas.
T. Higgins is really good. Is he good enough where you shouldn't pay Trey Hendrickson and your number 1 pick? I got Trey Hendrickson coming off one end. I got this rookie Shamar Stewart off the other. I feel like I'm pretty good. However, neither one of them are signed and coming to camp. Both of them are going to hold out. Trey Hendrickson wants top of the market money because he's a proven veteran. Shamar Stewart wants just a standard freaking contract because he's your number 1 pick. You know, reputations and cliches are born from fact, typically, right? You get tired of, oh, don't hit me with a cliche. Yeah, but for the most part, they're born out of reality. So are reputations. The reputation that the Cincinnati Bengals have is they are cheap, that they cut corners. That's why they don't win on a regular basis. They're small market. They can't afford it. So they went out and paid Joe Burrow top of the market money when they signed him. They went out and paid Jamar Chase top of the money market. And then, to your point, they probably overpaid to get T. Higgins, which is the number 2 receiver.
Their number 2 receivers making $115 million. And now they're wondering why they can't figure out how to get some people to agree to rush the passer.
At some point, you got to stop someone, right? You can't win this league every week 42-38.
And the thing, if you believe Joe Burrow is that dude, yeah, he's gotten into Super Bowl, and yeah, he's had those weapons, then he can make someone else a good number 2 wide receiver.
I firmly agree.
Like that, it's just a fantasy football team.
Well, you know what there are in the draft every year? Really good wide receivers. You know what there are in free agent every year? Very good veteran wide receiver. Dude, Rory just made a 30-foot bogey putt, like to only drop one. He got caught up in the thick stuff. Great putt by McElroy. He's even. You could find a number 2 receiver in free agency or in the draft every year. Can you not?
Yes.
Probably in the 3rd round. Where'd Puka Nacua come from? I forget. Oh, no, I don't forget. 5th round, BYU. Isn't that right? Now, look, I'm not telling you find Jamar Chase and Devontae Adams everywhere. But I agree with you, man. T. Higgins, as much as I like him. But you know why they did it? And Joe Burrow didn't help this. Joe Burrow went to management and said, I want them both. And so they took care of their quarterback instead of upsetting their franchise quarterback.
Well, all Joe Burrow has done is say everyone should get paid, which is great, but not every. You're going to run out of money. And now they're realizing, oof, this is where we're trying to cut costs, and it's with the dudes that attack the quarterback.
Yeah, thank you, Oprah. But, I mean, there's only so much to go around. You know what I mean? Oh, this amateur just rolled one in from next state over. I'm loving watching this. U.S. Open golf, J.J. Spawn, -4. Gary Woodland, -3. They're your leaders. Some guy named Noah Kent, an amateur, just rolled in a freaking bomb. He's 5 over. I don't know. If you're a fan of the Cincinnati Bengals, and I know a few, you're frustrated because you really believe you're close. I'm starting to come over to your camp a little bit on this, where I'm not as certain as I was yesterday that Cincinnati's a playoff team. Now, if they get these guys in camp, and this is where I think they're a playoff team, I think they get it settled. I think there's no way they open up the season and Shamar Stewart and Trey Hendrickson are not Bengals. Do you think I'm wrong with that? You're not as convinced as me, right?
There's still time.
Well, there's a lot of time.
Clock is ticking.
Yeah. But
it's one of those situations that I look at it and go, what's the difference between getting it done now and 2.5 months?
Because you're going to get it done at some point. You're right. And it's just going to cost you more. I think it's proven the longer you wait, the more it costs you. So just get it done. Sign your 1st round pick, for crying out loud. And usually that's slotted. This one, though, is contract language. There's standard contract language, and the way this one is being played out is the Bengals are trying to change the language that would, if guy gets hurt, gets cut, he loses his guaranteed money. And to say no. Everybody else has that standard language. I'm not giving you that concession. And why would I? 505-246-0610. Wrapping when we get back. Everything you got to know as you go through your Wednesday. No, it's Thursday. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
All right, what's everybody going to be talking about? What do you got to know as you go through your Thursday? Pacers beat the Thunder last night, 116-107, Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Indiana, the team nobody gave a chance, is up 2-1 in the NBA Finals. Benedict Mathurin came off the bench, 27 points for the winners last night. Tyrese Halliburton had 22, Pascal Siakam 21. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the Thunder in the losing effort, 24 points. Ishmael Kipkuri, the freshman from the University of New Mexico, is an NCAA champion. He won the NCAA 10,000 meters last night in Eugene, Oregon at the championships. In fact, Lobos went 1-2 in that race. Habtom Samuel finished second. So New Mexico, after day one at the NCAA track and field championships, their men's team is in second place overall as a team. And the U.S. Open is underway, and it is being led by J.J. Spaun, 4 under par after 15 holes. There's a group at -2. Gary Woodland, Si Woo Kim, and Thomas Dietrich all are 2 strokes back. The afternoon session will go off here in a little bit. It's scheduled to go at about 10:30 our time. Last I checked, Bryson DeChambeau was +1. He still is. Tommy Fleetwood, Hideki Matsuyama +2. Just not a lot of guys under par right now, man. In fact, JJ, there's only 8 players out of the 78 players under par. It's the opening drive, 505-246-0610. Terry sent an email. He'll be with us right about now tomorrow. I'll tease the Terry segment. He said, JJ, it's never too early for you as a Lobo to get revenge and be petty every time Jeff mentions an Aztec. Just hit the mute button. New pack members and profanity kind of similar. So every time I say, JJ Spaun, like that. So the former Aztec. Oh, you missed me. Yeah, you just mute me. If I say former Mountain West golfer. Is that better?
I think we can make that one pass.
Can handle that one. Yeah, he's winning right now. Also last night or yesterday, day baseball, Isotopes got beat. They were up 4-1 going into the bottom of the ninth against the Oklahoma City Comets. Oklahoma City scored 4 runs in the top of the ninth. Albuquerque went down to the bottom, 5-4. They lose. The big club lost again. Rockies lose 10-7 to the Giants. Rockies are 12-55, and I'm keeping track of this because here I'll throw another one in because Bud Black, the former Aztec, got fired as manager. He was 7-33. Since then, they're 5-22. That's very similar to 7-33, isn't it? They got way better since they fired Bud Black. Is the answer? No. I thought Pedro Lopez's reaction yesterday when I asked him that, the manager of the Isotopes, I thought was pretty interesting. Did you catch when we talked to him about Bud Black getting fired?
Because everyone knew it was such a meaningless move.
Yeah.
They're so bad. A manager's not going to mean anything.
And it bothered, it bothered him as a manager, right? I'm never a fan of firing the manager, but he can't sit there and bash the organization.
You have to be a good decision maker. But, baseball is a sport that, and we had this discussion with Dave Roberts over the last few years. I look at it, you have to make the bullpen decisions, kind of understand your rotation. Yeah, there's an element to it, but I struggle so much to see, you bring in this guy and all of a sudden your team is going to be so much better. It's just not that type of sport schematically where coaches do that.
Well, and it's like anything else. Players make plays. Look how much better of a manager Dave Roberts became last year in the World Series because his pitchers performed when he went to them.
Yeah, but even you can make the case in different sports, this scheme works better, or we're going to do something defensively that's different. In baseball, it's okay, you're tired and giving up 5 hits, let me go get you, and hopefully your number 5 hitter didn't strike out 4 times.
Why didn't you bunt here? No, you're right. And there's a lot more strategy in baseball, and it gets magnified certainly in in the playoffs. But yeah, you're right. To me, it's more like anything else. Players make plays. You put in a pitcher and he pitches well. Oh, you're a genius, right? You decide to start the kid that you just called up instead of the veteran. The kid pitches well and gives you 7 innings. Oh, what a great move by you. Or he gives up 4 runs in the first. What an idiot, dude. What were you thinking starting the kid? I mean, I know the veteran's on 3 days rest and he's got elbow soreness, but I mean, you should have, right? It's like anything else. All right, you get hockey tonight, JJ. Edmonton, Florida. Florida beat the stuffing out of the Oilers in Game 3. They're up 2-1. I thought they got in Edmonton's head. I thought they completely took them out of their game. All that said, so Edmonton wins tonight, right?
It is time. It has to be. It needs to be a Connor McDavid game. Like 2 goals, 2 assists.
Best player in the world needs to lift his team because, look, if you go down 3-1, I watch so much stuff in hockey. Hockey, unlike anything else, home ice doesn't seem to matter as much in hockey. Leads, like you're down 2 goals, you're probably going to win. You're down in series. It just, the weird stuff happens in hockey. But I agree with you. It's time for the best player in the world to put his team on his back and say, giddy up, let's go. So you get that tonight. You get baseball, day ball. If you want the Rockies, their day baseball, 1:10. They will play the Giants. And I believe is the Dodger-Padres series over. It is, right? So the Dodgers took 2 out of 3. They won yesterday. That was a big series in the National League West. So if you weren't watching, and that was Dodgers and Giants coming up this weekend. But L.A. went down, and they were 1 game up. Now they're half a game up on the Giants because the Giants are just getting healthy, eating up on the Rockies. But the National League West, above the Rockies, who are now 28 games back, which is almost unfathomable to be 28 games back in the middle of June.
I think Miami's feeling right now. We really got swept by the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah. I mean, they stink too. If you're worried about like where the White Sox, is anybody else going to catch the Rockies for worst team in baseball? No. White Sox are 11 games better. 11 and a half, in fact. Thank you to Fernando Lovo, the athletic director at the University of New Mexico. He joined us today. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is next. The Jim Rome Show will follow that. 2 Men On steps in at 4. Then you get the Isotopes and the Oklahoma City Comets tonight from Isotopes Park. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. We will begin at 7 a.m. Adrian, always looks great. Thank you for making the visuals, the television look so good. He's JJ Buck. I am Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
IPS provides residential and commercial security services. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today. If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben,